Don't forget to subscribe. Afterwards, the wisest and most spiritual books from the greatest authors await you every day. And now buckle up, sit back and we'll begin.
Joyful is the accumulation of good work. Gautama Buddha. Just as one can make a lot of garlands from a heap of flowers, so man, subject to birth and death as he is, should make himself a lot of good karma. As from a large heap of flowers many garlands and wreaths are made, so by a mortal in this life there is much good work to be done. A great gift, a gift of Dharma conquers all gifts. When a man makes utensils out of a metal which has been thoroughly cleansed of dross, the utensils will be excellent. You monks, who wish to follow the way, make your own hearts clean from the dirt of evil passion, and your conduct will be unimpeachable. There is pleasure and there is bliss. Forgo the first to possess the second. If you are happy at the expense of another man's happiness, you are forever bound. If there is a God, it is inconceivable that he would be concerned about my day-to-day affairs. Believe there is good in the world. As you travel through life, offer good wishes to each being you meet. Long is the night to him who is awake, long is a mile to him who is tired, long is life to the foolish who do not know the true law. To refrain from evil and from strong drink and to be always steadfast in virtue, this is the good luck. I call it nirvana, the complete destruction of old age and dying. Not even death can wipe out our good deeds. All wrongdoing arises because of mind. If mind is transformed, can wrongdoing remain? There has to be evil so that good can prove its purity above it. To cease from evil, to do good, and to purify the mind yourself, this is the teaching of all the Buddhas. There is, O monks, a not born, a not become, a not made, a not compounded. Monks, if that unborn, not become, not made, not compounded were not, there would be no escape from this here that is born, become, made and compounded. Know from the rivers in clefts and in crevices, those in small channels flow noisily, the great flow silent. Whatever's not full makes noise. Whatever is full is quiet. But when one masters this wretched desire, which is so hard to overcome, then one's sorrows just drop off, like a drop of water off a lotus. Don't blindly believe what I say. Don't believe me because others convince you of my words. Don't believe anything you see, read, or hear from others, whether of authority, religious teachers or texts. Wear your ego like a loose-fitting garment. One may desire a spurious respect and precedence among one's fellow monks, and the veneration of outsiders. Both monks and laity should think it was my doing. They should accept my authority in all matters great or small. This is a fool's way of thinking. His self-seeking and conceit just increase. Truth is always truth, untruth is always untruth. This is what matters, this is right desire. And he who lives 100 years, idle and weak, a life of one day is better if a man has attained firm strength. To eat meat is just a habit after we were born. In fact, we are not born to eat meat. Look within, thou art the Buddha. Overcoming yourself is better than overcoming 1,000,000 enemies in battle. The Buddhas, the world-honored ones, for one great cause alone appear in the world. The Buddhas, the world-honored ones, appear in the world because they wish to cause the beings to hear of the Buddha's knowledge and insight and thus enable them to gain purity. They appear in the world because they wish to demonstrate the Buddha's knowledge and insight to the beings. They appear in the world because they wish to cause the beings to understand. They appear in the world because they wish to cause the beings to enter into the path of the Buddha's knowledge and insight. O seeker, rely on nothing until you want nothing. Ambition is like love, impatient both of delays and rivals. Though he should conquer 1,000 men in the battlefield 1,000 times, yet he, indeed, who would conquer himself is the noblest victor. If a man going down into a river, swollen and swiftly flowing, is carried away by the current, how can he help others across? If beings knew, as I know, the results of sharing gifts, they would not enjoy their gifts without sharing them with others, nor would the taint of stinginess obsess the heart and stay there. Even if it were their last and final bit of food, they would not enjoy its use without sharing it, if there were anyone to receive it. They were responsible for spreading the Buddhist religion throughout India and East Asia. An evil deed, like fresh milk, does not go bad suddenly. Smoldering, like fire covered by ashes, the evil deed follows the fool. A wrong action may not bring its reaction at once, even as fresh milk turns not sour at once. Like a smoldering fire concealed under ashes, it consumes the wrongdoer, the fool. Explanation of the unspeakable cannot be finished. If you determine your course with force or speed, you miss the way of the Dharma. Quietly consider what is right and what is wrong. Receiving all opinions equally, without haste, wisely, observe the Dharma. What is most needed is a loving heart. Rid of craving and without clinging, an expert in the study of texts, and understanding the right sequence of the words, he may indeed be called in his last body, great in wisdom and a great man. Do not believe what your teacher tells you merely out of respect for the teacher. The fiercest fire is hatred. The world is continuous flux and is impermanent. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. There is no fire like passion, there is no evil and hatred. And more importantly, what we have chosen to do. The number of those endowed with human life is as small as the amount of earth one can place on a fingernail. Life as a human being is hard to sustain, as hard as it is for the dew to remain on the grass. But it is better to live a single day with honor than to live to 120 and die in disgrace. An ignorant man ages like an ox. His flesh may increase, but not his understanding. A raft needed to cross the river is discarded when the other shore is reached, not carried about on one's head. One act of pure love in saving life is greater than spending the whole of one's time in religious offerings to the gods. Cut down the forest, not just a tree. Out of the forest of desire springs danger. By cutting down both the forest of desire and the brushwood of longing, be rid of the forest, because one is not called noble who harms living beings. By not harming living beings one is called noble. man should make himself a lot of good karma. Our good and bad deeds follow us almost like a shadow. All that has been hidden is rising, there is no stopping it. These things you cannot hide, the sun, the moon, and truth. Men give up one thing to take up another, but in spite of numerous changes they do not find peace. They are no better than monkeys who let go one bough to take hold of another, only to let it go again. Rising early and scorning laziness, remaining calm in time of strife, faultless in conduct and clever in actions. One like this will be praised. My whole life, I never spoke a single word. Wish I am free from barriers when I die, and Buddha will welcome me from far away. The fragrance of sandalwood and rosebay does not travel far, but the fragrance of virtue rises to the heavens. Hate is only conquered by love. One who, while seeking happiness, oppresses with violence other living beings who also desire happiness, will not find happiness hereafter. The gift of truth excels all other gifts. I have the body of a god. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. So in this case, kalamas don't go by reports, by legends, by traditions, by scripture, by logical conjecture, by inference, by analogies, by agreement through pondering views, by probability, or by the thought. This contemplative is our teacher. When you know for yourselves that these qualities are unskillful, these qualities are blameworthy, these qualities are criticized by the wise, these qualities, when adopted and carried out, lead to harm and to suffering, then you should abandon them. Let go the past, let go the future, and let go the present, front, back, middle. Crossing to the farther shore of existence, with mind released everywhere, do not further undergo birth and decay. It is in this way that I went forth to teach. Whatsoever, after due examination and analysis, you find to be kind, conducive to the good, the benefit, the welfare of all beings, that doctrine believe and cling to, and take it as your guide. Through one all are known, through one all are also seen. Those who walk in the way should avoid sensualism as those who carry hay would avoid coming near the fire. Here will I live in the rainy season, here in the autumn and in the summer, thus muses the fool. He realizes not the danger of death. All fear violence, all are afraid of death. From a withered tree, a flower blooms. Tune is the sitar, neither high nor low, and we will dance away the hearts of men. Through true honest I deeply believe a thought all sentient beings are one, that all beings have the same true nature, wisdom, virtue. To do a little good is more than to accomplish great conquests. Times of luxury do not last long, but pass away very quickly. Nothing in this world can be long enjoyed. When you know for yourselves, these things are wholesome, these things are blameless, these things are praised by the wise, these things, if undertaken and practiced, lead to welfare and happiness, then you should engage in them. Just as a line drawn on water with a stick will quickly vanish and will not last long, even so, Brahmins, is human life like a line drawn on water. It is short, limited, and brief, it is full of suffering. One should do good and live a pure life, for none who is born can escape death. These are the roots of trees, O monks, these are empty huts. Meditate, monks, do not be negligent, or else you will regret it later. This is our instruction to you. Only he who crosses the stream of life wishes to know what is known as unknowable. Wherefore, brethren, thus must ye train yourselves. Liberation of the will through love will develop, we will often practice it, we will make it vehicle and base, take our stand upon it, store it up, thoroughly set it going. Go forth in every direction for the happiness, the harmony, the welfare of the many. Offer your heart, the seeds of understanding, like a lamp overturned and relit, illuminating the darkness. Let yourself be open and life will be easier. If a viper lives in your room and you wish to have a peaceful sleep, you must first chase it out. The man that is dominated by anger doth not know what is seemly and seeth not the law. That man whom hate doth accompany, becometh like unto murky darkness. He that distributeth not that which he hath received his food, his drink, his sustenance unto devotee, Braham, beggar, wayfarer, such a low man as he, they say, is like unto a lack of rain. For he that is delighted by concord, and who abideth in the law, falleth not from security. Let a man overcome anger by love. A man should first direct himself in the way he should go. Only then should he instruct others. A jug fills drop by drop. Friendship is the only cure for hatred, the only guarantee of peace. In the sky, there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true. Easy to do are things that are bad and harmful to oneself, but exceedingly difficult to do are things that are good and beneficial. All that we are is the result of what we have thought, what we think we become. A wise man, recognizing that the world is but an illusion, does not act as if it is real, so he escapes the suffering. Happiness or sorrow, whatever befalls you, walk on untouched, unattached. A good friend who points out mistakes is to be respected, as if he reveals a secret of hidden treasure. Do not look at the faults of what others have done or not done. Observe what you yourself have done or not done. Everything that happens to us is the result of what we ourselves have thought, said, or done. We alone are responsible for our lives. Gautama Buddha.
And that's not all. Our experts and regular viewers respond to all comments. Also check if you forgot to subscribe and set your bell to receive notifications about new audiobooks and other useful self-development materials that we release regularly. Join in the discussions, don't forget to give likes and, if possible and inspired, support the development of the channel financially. All useful links will be in the description and the first attached comment. Goodness, love and wisdom to all. And now move on to watch the next part of the video at the links below, or choose something from the playlists of the channel and those you see on the screen.